Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will understand figures of speech. But what are figures of speech? When we express our ideas, we arrange words in an ordinary manner. But when poets express their ideas, they arrange words in a very different way. This different arrangement of words is called figures of speech. Friends, I have divided this topic into many parts. This video is the first part of the series. We will learn about simile, metaphor, and personification in this video. So, let's begin. Simile. Simile is a figure of speech where a direct comparison is made between two different objects. Here, in this figure of speech, the word like or so or as is used while making the comparison. For example, he fought like a lion. Here, he is directly compared to a lion while fighting. Second, I shall never see a poem as lovely as a tree. Here the poet is directly comparing the poem to a tree. Third example, the boys came like a flock of sheep. Here the boys are directly compared to a flock of sheep. Friends, have you noticed the word like, as, and like again over here? So, in simile, a direct comparison is made and you should look out for words such as like, so or as. Second figure of speech, metaphor. In metaphor, an indirect comparison is made between two different objects. Remember friends, the comparison is indirect. For example, the camel is the ship of the desert. Here, what we are trying to say is that just as a ship moves very smoothly in the ocean, same way the camel also moves very smoothly in the desert. Therefore, an indirect comparison is made between the camel and the ship. Both are equated. Second, life is a dream. Friends, just as a dream is short and temporary, similarly, life is also short and temporary. Therefore, life is said to be a dream. An indirect comparison is made between life and dream. Next, he was a lion in the fight. Just as a lion fights bravely, it is said that he also fought bravely in the fight. And therefore, an indirect comparison is made between the person and the lion. The person is equated to a lion. An indirect comparison is made between the person and the lion. So therefore, in all these three examples, the figure of speech is metaphor. Third figure of speech, personification. In personification, non-human things are given human qualities. Remember friends, they could be non-living things or trees, birds, animals. They are given human qualities. For example, a tree that looks at God all day. Here, tree is given the human quality of looking at God. Second example, death lays his icy hand on kings. Death is given the human quality of having hand. Third example, at evening the storm had died away. Instead of saying that the storm had stopped, the poet is saying that the storm had died. In other words, the storm is given the human quality of dying. Therefore, in all these three examples, the figure of speech is personification. Now, friends, it's activity time. Name and explain the figures of speech. First, I wandered lonely as a cloud. Here, a direct comparison is made between the poet and the cloud. Therefore, the figure of speech is simile. Second, night that covers me black as the pit, or the darkness of the night is directly compared to a pit. Therefore, the figure of speech is simile. Next, the autumn comes a maiden fair. Here, the poet is trying to say that just as a fair maiden friends means a young unmarried woman, just as a fair maiden comes, same way the autumn is also coming. But the line does not contain words such as like, as, or so. An indirect comparison is made between the autumn and the fair maiden. Therefore, the figure of speech is metaphor. Next, her silk robe is white moonlight. Here, the poet is indirectly comparing the silk robe to the white moonlight. Actually, the poet is trying to say that her silk robe is as beautiful as the white moonlight. But the poet does not use words like, so, and as, and therefore the comparison is indirect. The figure of speech is metaphor. The waves beside them danced. Here, waves are given the human quality of dancing. Yes, you guessed it right. The figure of speech is personification. Next, I make the sun rays dance. Again, here, the human quality of dancing is given to the sun rays. And again, therefore, the figure of speech over here is personification. So friends, this was the video on figures of speech, simile, metaphor and personification. I hope you have learned something from this video. Please do like, share and subscribe. Bye.